Hi, and welcome to my channel. Or if you're a returning subscriber, hi again! It's so nice to see you back here for another video. My name is Tess Lark, and I hope you're all having an amazing day today. And today I'll be showing you how to make this geode style moon catcher, Suncatcher, rainbow catcher, wall hanger. I'm not sure what we want to call it. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned and let's get crafting. I bet you weren't expecting to see me today. Yep, it's a bonus video. So this week I'm actually gonna have two videos going up. This is a bit of a longer video just because this project does have several steps. It took me, I think, 4 days to complete it just because between working on the piece, the resin needs to cure for about 24 hours. So it is a little bit of a longer one. I will make sure that we hop in really quickly, but I would like to remind you that if you do like this video, please go ahead and give it a like. It not only helps out my channel a whole lot, but it also lets me know that I'm making content that you want to see from me. I'll also have all of the materials that I used in this project linked down below in the description, so all of that information will be there if you would like to try this project for yourself. And lastly, go ahead and comment anything that you want to comment down below. Let me know how your day is. Let me know if you like this project. Let me know if you want to see it in a different color. And yeah, let's craft. For this project, I went ahead and I made my crescent off camera, but it's just 100 milliliters of resin, and I mixed up a combination of a couple different pigment powders. I do have some more videos on this channel of making this specific mold, so if you want to see more in detail how to make the moon itself, I'll link a couple of those videos below. And I got this beautiful little set of pigment powders by Arteza for Christmas, so that's what I'm going to be using for this project for the most part. I also went ahead and mixed up about 20 milliliters of clear resin. I've got some crystals and some crystal shards, or like glass shards, in a couple different sizes that I'll be using today as well. And these are the pigments that I'm using to create my geode effect inside of the crescent. And here I'm dividing some of that resin up into 3 small cups, and I'm keeping in mind that I'm going to need mostly white resin and then just a little bit of purple and the lighter purple that I'm using, because the darker colors will spread quite a lot, especially when I use my heat gun. Next, I'm going to mix the color in really thoroughly, making sure I'm scraping the sides and the bottom of the container. And this is also sped up footage, but you want to kind of move slowly so you're not working too much air into the resin as you're mixing. And here I'm adding some amethyst Arteza mica powder to the purple that I already mixed up that just has a little bit of Pinata Colors alcohol ink. And also for the base for the moon, I use the Arteza mica powder in lavender, and I also use the Periwinkle Glow, and I use just a mixture of 50-50 for that to make that really iridescent kind of light purple color. And in this cup, I'm using some Dusk Purple, again by Arteza. It's their mica powder. And all of these powders are so pretty and iridescent. I cannot wait to try more of these colors. And then I'm just going to use some hot glue to glue down some of my larger crystals. And I like to put them in sections of either 3 or 2s. I just think that they look best that way. Next step is to pour a thin layer of my white down around those crystals, and I really don't want to get too much white on there because, again, the resin will spread quite a bit, and I'm really just using that to secure these guys down, and I'll also be using it to secure down my larger crystal shards. And then around that edge, I'm also going to be placing a row of the smaller crystal shards. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start pouring my resin. And as you can see, I've got my cup folded pretty hard, so it's got a nice tip on it, so I can really control how much resin's coming out. So just a layer of white, and then I'm gonna be putting down just a thin layer of my 2 purple colors. And then I'll be using my heat gun to bloom out those colors and to pop any bubbles that have formed in the resin. And the warmer the resin gets, the more it spreads out and the more kind of easy it is to mix the colors together. So just keep that in mind as you're working. Then I'm making a couple more little adjustments, and I guess I wasn't filming, but I just put another little layer on the outside edge of the smaller of the 2 crystal or gloss shards. I'm just using a paintbrush to clean up that edge there, and this will be the end for the first layer. I'm going to go ahead and cover the piece for the night, and after that I will work on it some more after the resin is fully cured. Okay, so my resin is fully cured and it's looking pretty good, but I want to go ahead and raise up some of those more rocky areas because they did kind of even out while the resin was curing. So I'm going to be going and taking that medium sized, or the smaller, I should say, of the 2 crystal shards that I have, and I'm going to be keeping that pretty chunky and putting it into a little plastic sandwich baggie to make a little piping bag, and then I'm just going to go ahead and do a little bit of detail work on this piece. And then I'm just going to use a popsicle stick and my fingers to kind of clean up the shape until I'm happy with it. And after that, I'm going to go ahead and let that little layer of resin cure as well before I work on it a bit more. Alright, and here we are. So it's all cured and ready to go. And I'm going to be using my Deco Color Premium Paint Pen in silver to be reinforcing some of those larger lines and adding some detail lines. And as always, you can find everything that I make that's up for grabs on my Etsy, which is fragilebeings.com, and I'll go ahead and link that down below in the description as well. And I decided to go ahead and paint that outside edge silver as well. And once the paint pen has dried, it's time to top coat this baby. So I'm just pouring a very thin layer of clear resin over the top of the whole thing, and then I'll be using my fingers to just smooth that out and around so it's evenly distributed, just a nice thin clear top coat. And then I'll hit my piece once more with my heat gun, again to pop any bubbles, and also to help all the resin spread out and make sure that it's all in all of those little nooks and crannies, and I'll be letting this cure. And then the last step is going to be to add this little prism crystal and make it into a wall hanger. So I've just got some different tools here. Again, I'll list everything, all the materials will be listed down below. My first step is going to be to make that crystal so I can hang it. So I'm just going to be doing a simple little wire wrap. So I cut about 5 or 6 inches of some metal wire, and I'm just threading that through the top of my crystal. I'm gonna meet the two sides at the top and twist one side over the other. And I do also have a couple other wire wrapping videos on here, so I'll list those as well if you want to see in more detail. And then I'm going to be using needle nose pliers to make a loop at the top of my crystal. And then I'm going to wrap the opposite wire around the top just to secure them together. And once I've wrapped that around a few times, I will trim one end, wrap the other end around a few more times, and then trim that as well. I'll be using this little detail rotary driller to drill some eye hooks into the top of my piece so I can hang that crystal and also hang a little chain on there to make it a wall hanger or a window hanger. And I'm also going to dab just a little bit of my E600 glue onto the end of those eye screws before I screw them in, just to help secure them a little bit more tightly. And then for the top, I just made a couple marks where I wanted to drill just to make sure that it hangs correctly. It's kind of hard to drill and get the right angle for the camera as well. So I wanted to make sure that I was making the right holes in the right space. next, I'm just gonna go ahead and take a small amount of my metal chain, and I will be using that to connect the crystal onto the moon and also to make a little hanger. And then after attaching the chain to the top, I just kind of estimated where the crystal would hang and decided to cut it a little bit shorter. Alright, and then here is the finished project. I think it turned out really cute. I hope you guys will let me know what you think down below in the comments, and I'll make sure to get a couple shots in natural light so you can see it a little bit better and see if we can get some rainbow action happening. If you did like this video, please don't forget to give it a like. It is a free way to help me out and help out this channel, and don't forget to subscribe because I post every single week. And if you did make it all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much. Leave me some sort of purple emoji in the comments down below so that I know that it's real, and as always, I very much appreciate you being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!